Hey, Heidi Ho, everybody. This is Postmortem Nightshade, and today we're talking about Is God Is. Directed by Alicia Harris, this film stars Mallory Johnson and Kara Young as two twins who, at the behestment of their mother, set out on a journey of revenge against their father. The reason for the revenge quest, you may ask? Well, I'll try to be as YouTube social media friendly about it as I can, but as children, the twins' father, played by Sterling K. Brown, tried to get rid of their mother with fire, and the two girls were sadly also caught in the blaze. This film has a great aesthetic to it, which is also accompanied with solid cinematography. The story does narrative flashbacks in black and white, uses on screen dialogue to convey inner monologues, and frames its shots well to better convey information about our characters. All of these elements combined made for an engaging viewing experience I quite enjoyed. I particularly liked the way the father looms over the whole story and how the shots with him are framed in a very particular manner, and that element actually conveyed way more to me about the father character than any of the dialogue did. I also thought that the writing on our two leading ladies was strong and explored the twin dynamic well. Even if the twin element isn't wholly unique or original, it was still well executed in this film. I also thought that what little we did see of Sterling K. Brown's character was superbly acted. Definitely, I think, my favorite part of this film, although I definitely could have used more screen time for his character. And that leads me into my critiques of this film. The movie runs at 1 hour and 39 minutes, which is not a bad runtime. However, the pacing often felt uneven. The biggest struggle I really had with the pacing was in the third act. The whole film, then, we've been building up to this confrontation between the twins and their father, and yet it felt like that part of the movie was the most rushed through. The father character truly felt like he had no more than maybe 10 minutes of screen time, so it just didn't feel like a very satisfying conclusion to this whole journey we'd been on with our two main characters. It also felt like at times there were random elements thrown in to kind of, I don't know, throw the audience off. However, those moments just really came off as odd and kind of jarring. For example, there is a particular dream sequence that felt confusing and thrown in, and it just derailed the narrative. And because there was nothing similar to that before or after in the rest of the film, then it just felt disjointed from everything else that was going on. Also, another issue I had was that some of the character decisions didn't always feel like they made sense, and that just added to my confusion at times with how the story was unfolding. So, honestly, I didn't hate my time watching this movie. There were definitely things I liked about it, but there were also some negatives that kind of stuck out a lot to me throughout the film, which made this movie a pretty mixed bag for me. So, on my scale, this movie just barely gets into the Hey Heidi okay category. But let me know in the comments, what did you think of Is God Is? And are there any other revenge movies you enjoy that you'd recommend I check out? Thank you everyone so much for tuning in, and if you'd like to follow along on my movie review journey, please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all very soon.